You entered 73228. If this is correct, there are 9 participants in this conference. Please announce yourself.
Open to answering questions. I'll let her get into her background in detail, but for those who are not familiar with Freya, she's been involved working with Dynamics Nav for a while, has a lot of good experience working with the product, and ABC is one that's done NAVUG webinars and provided subject matter expertise to the group in the past. So we always look forward to when someone from ABC can join us and share their knowledge. So with that, I'll turn things over to her and let her get started.
Well, thank you, and thank you to NAVUG for the opportunity to show role-tailored client this afternoon. As Frank had mentioned, I have been in the business for a while now. Spent a good chunk of my career with the NAVUG product, now called NAV, and we thought this afternoon we'd give about a 45-minute overview of the role-tailored client, and if we can hold questions till the end, that's great. If there's something that I am, showing at the moment that needs to be answered, please feel free to jot the question down, and we'll answer it as we can. So, first thing here, hopefully everybody can see my screen, and if they can't, to let us know. But we are showing today role-tailored client. The first thing you may hear about role-tailored client is the fact that it's a 3-tiered architecture. And a lot of times, especially for people that are not super technical, the explanation of that may be helpful. 3-tier basically is, if you envision, a stack, we have the first tier, which is the client tier, which allows the actual interaction with the client, the user using the product, access to data and the processes. The middle layer then being the nav server tier, built entirely on a .NET framework. That's where the program resides. That's where the other applications access information, and a lot of modifications also go in on that layer. And then lastly, you have the NAV database tier, which is where the Microsoft SQL Server is and where the data resides. So that in its simplest form is kind of what that 3-tiered architecture stands for. And what Microsoft had done as they put together the role-tailored client is did a lot of research with employees that worked with the product to find out, how they work and what's effective and what would help them be productive. So what Microsoft has done is created out-of-the-box roles, and the product currently ships with 21 of those role centers. And what I have on my screen right here is a sampling of a customer service role center. Once again, we're going to go through a little personalization here, but the role centers kind of save some time to say, here's customer service, here's our role center, and we'll modify from there. So the first thing, obviously the look is significantly different than, prior versions of NAVUG. First big thing is obviously the navigation and the entire role center, which is this area here. First thing is the ability to navigate now in several different ways. I have my navigation across the left-hand side. These are roles and modules that are available to me. And then I also have the ability to also grab this information from the address bar. Once again, trying to keep, with the Microsoft look and feel. So I can grab that information here as well. I can also come down to the actions and grab my most common tasks here. And lastly, and the one I really think is cool, especially if you're starting to lose track of looking or where particular menu options reside, is I can come into the search just like an Internet Explorer, and let's say I'm looking for items, and then it will give me all the modules and menu options that contain that word. So several different ways now to navigate within the product rather than just, the standard file menu. So this area here is my role center. It allows me to store my activities, which are right here. Since I'm in customer service, I, take care of sales orders, which if I hover over these pieces of paper, which should look similar to your desk, in this case I have 21 open orders. I hover over the quotes, and I have no open quotes to deal with. This is kind of my working area, if you will. Once again, by role center and can be modified to show me other bits of information. I also have chosen to take a look at my customers, and I can peg those, especially in customer service. I can have certain customers that I want to take care of, but I can also come to the lightning bolt, and you'll see us use that lightning bolt several times this afternoon, and customize that information. So if I go to my customers and I decide I want to go ahead and choose a particular column in this area, I have the only column available to me that's not being displayed is balance. And so let's say I want to go ahead and add balance, and maybe I'm not interested in the phone number. I can click phone and remove. And once I say OK, it's going to refresh the screen, and now that information has been changed only for me and my particular role center. I can always come back, click two columns again, and hit Restore Default, especially as we start to go through the product in a little greater detail today. You'll see where sometimes you may get yourself a little confused as to, what you did and what you moved around. So Restore Defaults is a nice option. And obviously then we also have the ability to restore all defaults, all personalization settings, if it gets pretty complicated. In addition, I have the ability to modify this whole section by coming in and going to customize this page. And so these boxes represent the quadrants in my role centers here. And you can see I have two other parts available that I could display on the screen. And if I just come in and say I want to add this chart part and customize, I have the ability to add standard charts that come with the product. So there are graphical, representation. If I want to look at sales orders per location, it adds it here, and I may want to shift it over to the left and say OK. And at this point, once again, it's going to refresh the screen and now provide the chart information for my particular role center. And then lastly, I have a pretty neat option here called Connect, which allows me to define by role center the information I wish to see. So, obviously need a connection to the Internet, but in this case, I have set up that I am a customer service representative. I am only seeing information relevant to my particular role that's coming from Microsoft Customer Source. So very powerful, looking at blogs, information that is obviously relevant to me. Also, I have the ability to look at my Microsoft email right from that role center. Once again, if you're hitting, email pretty heavily, you probably just want to go right to email, but this is a nice way to come in and launch information and look quickly at what's going on. Hit contacts, obviously those are synced with the NAVUG contacts and to-dos. So just once again, you'll hear the word integration a lot today. They spend a huge amount of time making that all look and feel the same.